for me, what this weekend has done, it has honed in really on specifically the US, but it's answered a lot of the questions and a lot of the thoughts I had, a lot of the questions, you know. It's been really good. What I feel, this is my impression of the weekend, is you don't want to make the mistakes on your own. You're going to learn from other people's mistakes, and by doing that, you surrounded yourself at this point with people who really know what they're doing, you know, and you've got a great team. Jessica was saying earlier, education is very important. That's why we're here. Education is only one part of it. Another part of it is really to have that support structure, and by having Jessica and her team over in America, that is really going to be fantastic, because that's going to be your support system over there. You're going to go treading where you've never been before. You want to go there and have someone hold your hand through it, you know. So for me, it's opened answered a lot of the questions and opened a lot of my eyes, and it's sort of eased a lot of my concerns and worries. I think it's been great. Yes, after this weekend we came in with a plan, and it was a bit like a football game, you know, or basketball. Every 3 seconds, that plan has changed. It's gone from this to this to this to this to something completely different. So at this point, our plan has evolved. Our plan has really evolved, but that's only because of the more information that we had received as we went further into it. There's an old saying, you know, what's the time when an elephant sits on the fence? It's time to buy a new fence. If you're sitting on the fence, get off the fence. You know, you're going nowhere. If you don't get out there and, look, invest a little bit of time and a little bit of money and a little bit of effort, you're going to go nowhere, you know. This, for me, has been, you know, a lot of life is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And what I've learned over this weekend is a little bit like that. We've had to change with our thoughts as to what we want to do. But sitting on the fence is going nowhere. You know, if you're going to invest a little bit of time and effort, and not only at a weekend like this, you're going to go home then and start to do homework. To me, it's a little bit like a relationship, marriage. It's not happily ever after once you put the ring on it. That is when the work starts. So you've gone now, you get off the fence, you put your boots on, you pull up your socks, and you actually got to go and do all the work now. And so a weekend like this points you in the right direction as to say, what do we want to do? And where are we going? Otherwise, you're just floundering. You're just swimming there with your nose above water thinking, oh, what do I do? This, a weekend like this, gives you the direction as to what to do. I believe. Everyone has hit the nail on the head. Everyone. What I found, we've been to a 3-day boot camp prior and a 1-day seminar with Dymphna, and it was just like sensory overload. It was just so much information to try and take in when you have no idea about what a lot of it's like someone's talking German to you, and if you only speak French, you know, it was a little bit disconcerting in many ways. But the more we've gone and done, the more we've studied, the more we've understood. But this is really honing in on a particular and specific point. This is really, it's not pigeonholing and it's not tunnel visioning, but it's really bringing it down to the basics, the nitty-gritty of what you need. This weekend, everyone has been really good in regards to hitting the nail on the head as to what you need to know. Everyone, all of them. Very impressed with all of them. Can I say this? This is me, okay? For me, Dymphna, and I've written this in my journal, my diary, my goal thing. Dymphna to me is my rich dad. My poor dad is my father. My relationship that, you know, the two most influential people in my life have been my father, which has not been a very good influence, and Dymphna. She has actually taken me completely and shown me that there's a different world out there and different opportunity and possibilities in life. Completely turned my life around. Now, I'm not saying that because, oh, gee, I needed my life turning around, or she's this great guru. But the knowledge that Dymphna has, the experience, you know, what she has to impart and offer and give to people is phenomenal, absolutely. And what she's got up in her head, you know, she probably forgets more in a weekend than I'll learn in the rest of my life. You know, she's just amazing. Walking, I used to have this joke, I don't need an encyclopedia because my wife knows everything. But Dymphna, actually, what she knows is phenomenal. And now she's brought Jessica on board, and I saw Jessica up there, this little girl from America with, hi, how you all? Where you from? To just realising that Jessica's almost the American version of Dymphna, you know. And then you got Ian. Ian, just very slow and meticulously. Well, he knows his stuff. He knows exactly what he's talking about, and never puts a foot wrong. It might take him an hour to get it out, you know, and tell you, but amazing. And Ian and John and, you know, all of the experiences that all of these guys have had just shows you it's possible for anyone. You know, you take the education that you learnt, you get off the fence, you take that little bit of education, and then they hold your hand as we all go for a swim out of the mud where everyone's been trudging for all their life, out into the deep water, and just swim away with this opportunity of life that I never really thought was available to me. You know? Does that answer your question?